Hi, this is a yoga class that will incorporate the wall as well. It will incorporate the use of blocks. If you have blocks, if you don't have blocks, it's okay. I did yoga for a long time before I had blocks in my own space, but if you do have them, they help with getting into movements. You can also use a box that's strong or maybe a few books. The apex pose in this class is a forearm balance. So that's why we're using the wall. But go on and use it anyways because we will do some stuff on the wall even if you already have forearm balance in your practice. So let's begin with breathing. So find a seated position. You're free to sit on the ground or you can sit up on a block. Sitting up on a block is easier for the hip flexors. So if you feel like when you sit, you clench here in the hip flexors, sit on a block or sit on a pillow. Close the eyes. Start to listen to the breath. Inhale and exhale. Feel the sit bone, both of the sit bones on the ground, and feel like you can really press them into the ground or the block. From there, lengthen up from the tailbone to the top of the head. Inhale, and feel like you can expand your ribs outwards. And then exhale, just letting them come back. So it's like an accordion. Inhale, ribs outwards. And exhale them back. Take one more deep breath in. And exhale. You can stay here or switch the cross of the legs. Quick neck release pose. So you just drop your neck off to the side. Drape the hand over and allow the other arm to come out at a diagonal. Listen to the breath again. Both sit bones are on the ground, on the floor. Stay where you're at. Just move the arm on the head to the opposite side of the cheek and lift up the head. Let's do the other side. Drop. Arm comes over, arm reaches out. Deep breath, inhale. And exhale. Inhaling. And exhaling. Take your hand to the side of the cheek. Lift it up. If you're on a block, you might want to come off for this next one. I am. You can stay on it though. We're coming to Badakanasana. Badakanasana is the ball and the soles of the feet together. You'll take your hands behind you, fingertips face away, and bend a little bit in your elbows. You puff up your chest, and then you take sharp exhales out of the nose, pulling the navel to the spine quickly. We'll do that 75 times. What is your 75? And then after we'll come to a stretch over here, releasing. So let's go. Here we go. When you get over, you're breathing 2 times. And on your third breath, you pull the navel to the spine and hold it there. I'll do it with you. So blow all your air out. Pull the navel to the spine and hold it. Don't inhale. When you're ready to inhale, you release. Let's do it one more time. Take off my jacket so it's a little easier to see. So you're pulling navel to spine right here. So you take it over, blow all the air out. When you're ready to inhale, you release the stomach and then you come up. Great. Quick side bends. Take one leg in and take the other leg straight, flexing toes up to the ceiling. Walk one of your hands towards the straight leg. That's the same hand as the leg. Give some pressure into the hand to open the heart towards the ceiling and reach the other arm over. Take a deep breath to lengthen through your ribs. And an exhale to keep stretching by opening the heart, relaxing your shoulder blades, and lengthening through the ribs. Go back to the accordion breath. Release your arm down, drop your head, and stretch through your neck. Big inhale, big exhale. Deep breath. Slowly bring it back up. Turn toward the same leg, reach your arms towards the leg, walk it over, straight back, inhaling to lengthen. And exhaling, we'll take 3 breaths right here. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Gently bring it back up. Let's do the other side. So you bring one foot in, the other leg is straight, the toes are pointed straight up towards the ceiling. My block's away. Take your hand down, use the pressure of the hand and a tiny bend in the elbow to help open it up. You might not go as low as me, that's okay. Still use your hand even if your elbow doesn't get down there. Open up the heart. Reach the arm over, relax your shoulder blade. Straighten out the arm as much as you can with the relaxed shoulder blade. Inhale to lengthen. And exhale to open. Nice and strong. Inhale to lengthen. And exhale, stretch. Release your arm, drop the head. That neck release again to slowly bring it back up. Turn your chest to face the thigh. We'll do 3 breaths here, stretching the hamstring. Think chest to thigh. Chin is tucking in so that it's a straight head and tailbone line. Here we go. Big inhale. And exhale. Again, inhaling. Keep the sit bones on the ground, even if you feel like you have to come up a little bit. And exhaling. Really try to make space in the lower part of your abdomen between your hip bone and your floating ribs. Slowly bringing it back up using your hands. We'll do some core exercises. You need core when you're doing forearm balance, and core is great in yoga. Here's where you can use a block. It will be in the second exercise. The first exercise doesn't require a block. So you take it down to the ground, you lift the knees up, flex the feet. You want your knees to stay over the hips, always over the hips. Hands go underneath the base of the skull. Elbows can point up as much as they do, and lift up your shoulder blades. Here's your starting position. Here's your inhale. Hold the breath, pull navel to spine as you exhale. Extend your left leg and twist to your right. Flatten your lower back on the ground. Inhale is back to your starting position. Hold the breath and curl your tailbone. As you exhale, extend right leg, twist left elbow towards the knee, and flatten the lower back on the ground by pulling navel to spine. Inhale back to starting position. We'll keep going with this. Hold the breath and curl the tailbone. As you exhale, pull navel to spine, twist. Inhale back to center. Exhale, or hold the breath, flatten your lower back on the ground. Then as you exhale, you twist and pull the navel to the spine. Inhale back to center. 2 more. Hold the breath. Curl your tailbone. It's a slight curl. Exhale, extend. Good job. Pull navel to spine. Inhale back to center. Last time. Exhale, pull navel to spine. And inhale back to center. Lay down for a moment. Close your eyes. Take a deep inhale. And an exhale. So moving forward, if you have a block, that's great. You're going to stick it right here in between your inner thighs. Sticking it this long way in between the inner thighs, somewhere between your knees and your hip bones. If you don't have a block, no big deal. Still, maybe you can put a pillow there or a ball or something to keep this little squeeze here. Your feet are flexed. They go straight up to the ceiling. Your hands go behind the head. You inhale, lifting up your shoulder blades. As you exhale, you're going to squeeze a little bit more and the block and pull your navel to spine, get up a little bit higher. Inhale, release the block. Tiny bit release. Exhale, squeeze the block, root down through your sit bones, but lift up a little bit higher. Inhale back to center. So on your exhale, you squeeze your block, you root down through your sit bones. I squeeze my glutes and I pull my navel to spine so I get up a little bit higher. Sometimes my legs go a little bit further away from my hips, and that's okay. Inhale, take it back down. Exhale, squeeze the blocks. Squeeze sit bones. This is an intense crunch. Inhale, back to center. We're going to do it 2 more times. Exhale, squeeze your block. Root down through your sit bones. Flatten your lower back on the ground. Flatten it by pulling the navel in. Inhale, release. 1 more time. Exhale, squeeze. Lift it up. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Keep your block nearby you because we're going to use it for a bridge pose. So we're starting with bridge on the block, and then we'll come from bridge not on the block. If you don't have a block, just start with bridge. Line up your sit bone to be in line with your heels. Curl the tailbone, lift it up, and take the block underneath your sacrum. Now you can do it different levels. I'm going to start on a lower level, but you can also turn it to a higher level. If you have 2 blocks, you also have the option to place a block in between your inner thighs. Stay there. I'm just going to show you if you want to. And that helps you to get the correct trajectory of the knees going right over the toes. Hold here, even though you're on the block, you're still going to be pulling the navel in, squeezing the block if you have it in between the thighs some, and pushing into your feet. Breathe. Back of the throat. So some deep, deep breath. Release the block from underneath you if you have it. If you didn't have it, you might want to come down and come back up. Squeeze your glutes. Lift up. Curl the tailbone. I'm going to move my block a little bit higher up. Puff up your chest. Take your chin to your chest. Relax the back of your throat. Push into your feet. Move your thighs away from your head. Open up a lot here through your back. Slowly roll it down. Upper back, middle back, and lower back. Remove the block if you had it. Grab onto your shins or your thighs. Take a tiny little roll. Hold here for a moment in your boat, or you can V it out position. Pull navel to spine. Lift it up for 4, for 3, for 2, and for 1. Good. Right back to that Badakanasana just to sit for a moment as we transition to coming over onto your hands and knees. So flip it over and coming into a tabletop position. We're going to come into what's called a Dolphin Pose. If you have a block, you can use it to line up your hands. This works really well for people to find alignment who have the shoulder, don't have too big of shoulders. So if you have wide shoulders, you could use a block plus this extra block to line up. Looks like this. Or you could just use here. Most people use this, but if you work out a lot, if you swim, if you have wide shoulders, you want to use both, and that's fine. So you can line up here by taking your thumbs onto the ground and the fingertips on the outside. And that's how you know that's your alignment. And you want your wrist to be in line with your elbow. So I'm going to show it without the block, but that's how you would do it. And you can keep the block there if you want to. Lengthen a lot through your forearms. I do that by lifting up my fingers and then taking them back down. My thumbs are active. You're really pushing into your thumbs. We're going to tuck your toes here and just lift your knees up for a moment. Take your chest to your thighs, and we're coming into what's called Dolphin Pose. We're breathing here. Root your heels down just like you do in your downward dog. For 4, relax your shoulder blades down your back, wrapping them here. 3 breaths. What are your breaths? They might be longer, they might be shorter than mine. Keep wrapping your shoulder blades, relaxing your head, letting your heart open, letting the tailbone go up towards the ceiling. Pelvis is tilting up. When you're done, you'll bring your knees all the way down, and we're going to flip it around. You're coming into what's called a turbo dog. So turbo dog, you're just lifting up your elbows, you're squeezing in. You tuck your toes here, and you lift up. It's the same thing as a downward dog, except for your elbows are close to the ground. Open up the heart and hold. We're firing up the triceps now for 4, 3, 2, and 1. You're going to take it right back, and we're just going to sit right behind you. Tuck your toes, close your eyes for a moment, and take a deep inhale in. And a big exhale. We'll integrate Turbo Dog into some standing series. So take it up to the top of the mat. We'll move through some flows. So you're coming to a standing position. You take your feet together at the top of the mat, externally open and rotate here. You're having a deep breath, big inhale. Big exhale. Next one, we'll sit back in a chair. Engage your core, sit back, arms go over the head. If that's too much, you can bring arms to heart center. Stay here for a moment, big inhale and big exhale. Inhaling, arms come up. As you exhale, come all the way down, diving down. You're going to walk back into a plank position and hold this plank for a moment. You want your shoulders to be over your wrists, your abs to be engaged. Take the knees to the ground. You're coming knees, chest, chin, all the way down. This is very important. You're doing a baby cobra. So you're going to walk your hands about 6 inches forward. Squeeze your elbows in and squeeze your glutes as you open up your heart, rolling your shoulder blades back down. And then release it back down. We'll do that again one more time. Open up your heart, shoulder blades down the back. Really squeeze your glutes. Exhale and release. Place your hands on either side of you. Engage your core and come up through your knees. Squeeze your triceps in nice and strong. Exhale, we're coming straight to the turbo dog. So bend your elbows. Lift it up here. Big exhale. Keep turbo dogging. Don't forget about your palms. Squeeze it in. And then straighten it up into a downward dog just by pushing into your palms. Lift your right leg up, right back behind you for 1 breath. Inhale. As you exhale, you pull your knee into your chest. You set the foot down where the right hand is, and you drop your left knee. You want your knee to be directly below your hip. You inhale, your arms coming up, deep breath. As you exhale, place your hands down, step together, and sit back into the chair. Inhale to stand up. Exhale, diving it all the way down. Walk back to your plank and hold it. Knees, chest, chin to come all the way down. Exhaling. On your inhale, cobra. This time you just push straight down, squeeze your glutes, peel the heart up, shoulder blades go back. Exhale to release. We're coming into a turbo dog. Lift up, squeeze your elbows, tuck your toes, and lift it up and breathe. Keep squeezing, squeezing, squeezing your triceps. We're strengthening the arms here. And then start to straighten out into your downward dog. All you do is straighten your arms. Pelvic tilts up to the ceiling. Heels root down. Left leg reaches up and back. Pull it forward. Foot goes where the left hand is. Drop your knee so it's directly below your hip. Inhaling, arms up. And exhaling, step it forward. Just come all the way to a standing position. One deep breath, inhale. Exhale, hands to heart center. We'll go through some flows. I'm going to turn around, do it, but you just stay where you're at. This way it's a little easier to see it that way. Inhaling, arms come up. Exhaling, dive it down. Hands come to shins. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale into your plank. And chaturanga. Inhale straight into the up dog, push down. And exhale up and back. Inhale to lift up your right leg. Exhale, you're going to pull it through, set it down, and again, your knee comes all the way to the ground. Inhaling, arms come up. Exhaling, you place your hands down and you tuck your toe behind you to come into a high lunge. We'll lift up your right arm and take a big stretch. Exhaling, place the hand down and step forward. Inhaling, arms come up. Exhaling all the way down. Hands to shins, inhaling halfway up. Exhaling, place the hands down. Here's where you can jump. Jump or step, plank chaturanga. Inhale straight up. Make sure your shoulders stay over your wrist. Exhale, pull navel to spine. You're in your downward dog. Inhale, left leg goes up. Exhale, pull it forward, drop your knee down for the lunge. Inhaling, arms up. Exhaling, arms come back down. Tuck your toe behind you. Oops, nope. Inhaling, arms up. Sorry, tuck your toe behind you, coming into the lunge. Arms come down, and you're taking a twist here over the leg. Reach the arm up, deep breath. Place your hands down, little bend in your back leg and come all the way forward. Roll up here through your spine. Big inhaling, arms come up. Exhaling, you're coming into a Tadasana. We have one more of these. Each side. Inhaling, arms come up. Exhaling, take it all the way down. Hands come to shins, inhale halfway. Exhaling, place your hands down, step or jump. If you jump's in your practice, go for it. Bring it up, inhaling on your up dog, exhaling on your down dog. Lift up your right leg up and back. Bring it forward this time, high lunge immediately. Inhaling, arms come up. Bend your elbows, and as if somebody was pushing your elbows back, open your chest. Big deep breath. Take your hands down. Drop your back knee, walk your back knee back. This time it's back behind the hip. You're going into a lounge lizard. Maybe you want to walk your front arm up. Here's a great place if you have blocks. You might want to use them underneath your elbows. You come down to your elbows if you can. You still want to think head and tailbone straight line. If you can't keep your head and tailbone in a straight line, that's when you use your blocks, at least for one elbow maybe, or you just come onto a palm. Stretch through your hips here. Big deep breath, big inhale. Big exhale. Release, move the block out of the way if you had it. Tuck your toe behind you. You might need to toe knee a little bit in to step forward. Inhaling, arms come up. Exhaling, other side. Hands come to shins. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, place your hands down, jump or step back into your plank. Inhale up into your up dog. Then exhale up and back into your down dog. You lift your left leg up, one breath. Come straight into your high lunge. Inhaling, arms come up. Place your hands down for lizard. Your back knee does walk a little bit further than the hip. You untuck your toes and then you drop your hip bones. You can walk your front leg out a little bit if that feels good. Make sure your knee still goes over your second, your third toe, and bring it down here and breathe. This is a big hip stretch. You want to take it. You want to feel it. Inhaling, close your eyes if you need to, and float the breath around. Try to feel like the breath can move even a little bit through the lungs, through the body, relaxing through the sore areas. Slowly bring it back up. You might have to walk your front foot in, tuck your back foot, step it forward, and inhaling, come to standing, Tadasana. Okay, here's the part of the class where we come to the wall. You don't need your block. We're doing downward dog on the wall. So you want to start to the wall, and what you do is you're placing your hands down and you're walking up the wall. So here's a way to measure. Where your sit bones are, when your feet touch the wall, that's where your hands will go. So I sometimes just kind of put here, or you can use a block to know that measurement. So downward dog on the wall, your hands are on the ground. Now if this is new to you, just do one leg. And then first you tuck your toes, you lift up, and here I am with my tips of my toes on the ground and my heels on the wall. And my hands are right there where my sit bones were. I'm trying to relax and open up through my heart by moving my shoulder blades down the back. Keep squeezing your triceps in. That's why we did turbo dog. Now you walk one leg up. Maybe you just do one. So it might just be here, and you just have one leg up right here. You might need to just hold with that. Maybe you can do more, so you're going to do both legs. One leg, and then the other. When you get here, you want to stay here. What I'm working on are my shoulders are over my wrist, my abs are engaged, and my heels are straight in line. Breathe. 5 breaths. Press into your hands. When you're ready to come down, you walk one leg down, you walk one leg back. If you're doing one leg up the wall, go ahead and do the other leg up the wall. Stretch out the wrist when you're done. We're staying at the wall. We have a few more things. Taking a vertical splits on the wall. So vertical splits on the wall is very similar to how we set up for downward dog. You do have your hands in front of you. You're going to lift up, and you've got one leg up. Now, you're turning the toes, and you want your hips to be parallel. So both my hip bones are facing towards the ground. I can use my feet on the wall. I can walk my hands back towards my foot. I can walk my foot closer to the wall. So there's your vertical splits on the wall. We're going to hold it for 5 breaths. Wherever you're at, it's good. Remember your shoulder blades down the back. That's the thing I always forget. Open your heart and breathe. Three to 5 breaths. You come down, take a moment, and sit. Again, wrists out and down if you need to. Whew, nice. Let's do the other side, vertical splits on the wall. Very similar setup that you did at downward dog. Hands down, lift it up. One foot is on the ground, the other foot goes up. Toes tuck so that you know that your hip is facing. Now maybe you get the leg straight, maybe you don't. Maybe you walk a little bit further away with this foot. Maybe it's there. Maybe you can walk it closer, maybe you can walk your hands closer. What works for you? Remember, shoulder blades down the back. Squeeze in your glute, especially the glute that's up. Go back to your horizontal breath. And when you're ready, you bring it back. Woo! Take a moment to breathe. You can close your eyes in the seated position. Dolphin on the wall. You're going to be about the same distance. You want your elbows to be underneath the shoulders. The elbows are going to be about where your hands were. So I move my mat a little bit because I need that extra support on my elbows. So same place where your hands were is where your elbows are going to go. Often it's further out than I think it is. Separate your hands. You can grab the block if you need to. Remember to really push down through the thumbs. Tuck the toes. Toes are on the ground. Heels are on the wall. Find your space here for a moment. Lift up one leg. If you're just doing one leg, you're just going to lift one leg up and that's it. If you're doing both legs, you're going to straighten both legs on the wall, trying to get your shoulders right over your elbows and your hips in line with your heels. Head is just relaxed right now and breathe. Squeeze your triceps. Now if you're here and you want to go a little bit further, lift up one leg. Bring it down. If you have one leg up, we're going to lift up the other. Remember how you come down, you just walk one leg down first and then the other one. Let's sit up one more time. And breathe. Good. Deep breath, big inhale, big exhale. Amazing. So we're going through another flow real quick, nice and simple. And then we're going to do our forearm balance. So go and tuck your toes behind you. Lift up into a downward dog, big exhale. Lift your right leg up, straight up. And then pull it through, coming into a warrior two. That means you bisect your front arm, your front leg with your back leg. Big deep breath, big inhale. Reverse your warrior up and back, big exhale. Inhale to move your hips back as you come into a triangle pose. Reach down if you want to use the block. You can always put the block on the inside. Bend your knee, come right back into your warrior two. As you cartwheel your hands to come to the ground, turn your back toe. Come all the way into a plank, lower all the way down through your chaturanga. Reach back and grab onto both your ankles, squeeze your inner thighs together, lift up, open up, inhale. This is your bow pose. Exhale to release. Take your hands on either side of you, engage your core, lift up into your downward dog, big exhale. Inhale, lifting up your left leg. Pull it forward into your warrior two, bisect. Front leg with back leg. Inhale. As you exhale, reverse your warrior. Open up your heart. Don't forget about your back leg. Move your hips back as you swing backwards to stretch your hamstring. Open up your arms. Think about that wall, if you did my posture videos. And you're straight here and open it up. Deep breath. Bend your front leg to take it all the way back around. Flip your arms around here. Tuck your toe and step it forward. Inhaling, arms come up, deep breath. Exhaling, hands come to heart center. Here is your forearm balance. If you want to come back to the wall, you're going to do it on the wall, or you're going to do it on the floor. On the wall, you come up to the wall, this time facing it. Your hands come pretty close to the wall. Basically, your fingertips are touching it. You're going to tuck your toes behind you. You're going to lift it up, big exhale. Here's your start. We'll reach one leg up. Bend your knee. Now think hips. So hips are going. Squeeze your inner thighs when you get up there. If you're working this, you're going to take your hips to the wall first, and then, or take your leg to the wall first, and then walk your leg, one leg off, and the other leg. So if you're working balancing in the middle of the room, and I'm going to show that one, you're going to come a little bit further away from the wall. You're going to clasp your elbows, set yourself up for this forearm stance a little bit further away from the wall. Tuck your toes. Now, things to think about. Hips are going over your shoulders, and you're squeezing your inner thighs. One leg can side up, and then it's just a little push. Maybe that's as far as you're going. Maybe you want to bring the legs together. When you're ready to come out of it, you bend your knees. You're going to come back, sit back into a child's pose. Palms can be up or palms can be down. Let's all meet up here. Big inhale. Big exhale. I'm going to give one more breath for us all to meet up here. Bring it up. We're going to come into a pigeon pose to finish and then turn it over into our Shavasana. Some tips for forearm balance. Remember that squeeze in a turbo dog, that engagement of the core, and the squeeze of the inner thighs. You can come from downward dog, or you can come from tabletop into pigeon. Right leg comes forward, toe, knee, back leg. If pigeon doesn't work for your knees, take it to the ground for a reverse pigeon. You're going to walk yourself over, lengthen through the heart, and drop down through the head. Stay here, or if you want to add on, king pigeon is always an option. That means you lift up your back leg, bending your knee. You can stay with it like that, or you can come up and reach back for it, squeezing down through the hip bones. We have 2 more breaths. Wherever you're at, if you're in king pigeon or if you're just in regular pigeon, walk yourself up. You'll take a switch. Again, you can switch in downward dog, or you might just switch in tabletop like this. You cross the leg over. You make sure that you're walking over your shin, not your knee. And breathe. If king pigeon is in your practice, bend and reach back for it, or just stay in your regular pigeon. What is working for you today? Go for it. And wherever you're at, you're going to walk it forward. Again, you can come through tabletop, downward dog, or just flip around. We'll take it to the back, lay all the way down, pull your knees into your chest, a little bit of a rock side to side. We'll end with a happy baby. Reach up, grab onto the outsides of your feet or your shins, and breathe. Deep inhale. Calm down your breath. Get back into that horizontal breathing. Release your feet. Take it all the way to the ground. Take your arms down. And here's your breath. Here's your Shavasana. Keep staying in Shavasana. Just allow your breath to return to its normal breathing. See if you can focus on your inhale just by saying inhale, and your exhale just by saying exhale. Letting go of any thoughts. whatever you did today that was perfect for you. And carrying that motto into the day. Bending the knees up and rolling onto one side. Press your hand into the ground when you get there. So it's a slow process and going a little bit faster than you might be going so that you know what to do. Once you get all the way up to a seated position, find your happy seated place. Relax your shoulders down, close your eyes. Take a deep inhale and exhaling it out. Thank you. Namaste.